users, because organizations haven't been able to support these systems on an enterprise level, they will go out and write their own systems, take it upon themselves. So you see things like Excel sheets and access databases and all kinds of different things that end up out there, and those things become part of the organization's reliance on information. So you start to see interfaces pop up around those things where it's somebody's job to copy data out of one particular access and put it in something else, or sometimes you even see programs created to actually do those things for you. So if you do find yourself lucky enough to start looking at how to solve this particular interface problem, what are your options? And I see it as that you really have three, well, 2.5 perhaps. The first one is what I call best of breed, and it's sort of along the lines of what I was talking about before. There are a number of systems out there which are mature and very good at the particular part of the system that they represent. So maybe you have a system that's really good at returns processing. Maybe you have a system that's really good at customer relations management. Maybe you have a system that's really good at reporting. But you can't take all those things together and have an integrated tax system. You just still have those three pieces. And it takes work to have somebody come in, integrate all those pieces together so that it functions for you as a particular tax administration. The next option is what I call an integrated system. And you'll start to see I might have a slight bias for this particular choice. Really, the integrated system is meant to do everything your business does. And these things tend to be a bit industry specific in terms of finance or tax or customs or whatever. They do tend to be a bit specific. Our motto, for example, is we want to have an integrated system that supports everything a revenue agency would do. Right? So that includes tax administration. It's starting to expand now to include driver's license and vehicle titling, which is something that comes up in the US a bit at revenue agencies. Unemployment insurance, so on and so forth, all under the umbrella of one system. And then finally, there is still this idea out here that you can build a custom system. That's always on the table. But I think there aren't too many IT professionals out there these days who would say that building a custom system has gotten any less risky or less costly or less subject to schedule overruns. If somebody knows of a super successful large-scale custom build, I'd be curious to hear about it. All right, so our particular offering in this space is now called Fast RM, or Fast Revenue Manager. Everyone knows it previously as Gentax, but as I mentioned, we're starting to expand into a few different marketplaces, and so our suite of products is going through a bit of a rebirth in terms of identification. So we're calling it Fast Revenue Manager. You'll probably hear me call it Gentax a couple of times, as this change is especially new even to those of us within Fast. So what does Fast RM do? The key point here, there's a few. One is it reduces integration points because it is one big system that encompasses everything a revenue agency does. From displaying images, data capture, accounting, general ledger functions, correspondence, billing, audit, collections, discovery, analytics, all of those things are encompassed in the one large system. And really what it allows you to do is take that massive web of interfaces that we looked at before, put something like Fast RM in the middle of it and create a perimeter around your organization so that your internal business is your internal business and you can interface to those things outside much more easily and cleanly. The next part is having one system greatly reduces the complexity of interfaces and messaging, programming, configuration. When you have one tool that's used across all parts of your organization, the programming and testing and everything that goes with it becomes common. And it becomes much easier for developers and business analysts to understand what they're looking at and understand how things might be applicable in the returns area to the audit area. It also becomes much easier to retrain or move people around in your organization when they're familiar with a user interface that looks the same everywhere. Okay, it does offer, by the same token, streamlined support and maintenance. You can have one team of people with the same skill set maintaining things across the organization, although I will